West Ham versus Palace. One win for either team could probably see them maintain their Premier League status for another season. This is a big match preview. Me and Ryan with you today. How you doing, Ryan?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. I done it last week. You couldn't get any of the other first teamers, so you've dipped into the reserves again and got me back. So I'm looking forward to it, mate. Always look forward to doing the preview with you, mate.
Cheers, mate. It's good. It's all a bit over the place at the minute, aren't we? Like got so much going on, game after game, and this is another big fixture.
Yeah, it's been a mental week. Obviously, we had the Youth Cup final on Tuesday, and then Liverpool on Wednesday night. So yeah, it's coming thick and fast. The business end of the season. You know, we're still in the European Cup, so there's a lot of football to be played between now and the rest of the season. So yeah, a lot more previews coming up, mate.
That's it, coming out thick and fast. Yeah, let's touch on last night's game a bit. You know, still gutted from that one. You know, obviously when we're filming this, it's only it's Thursday as we're filming this, so it was last night that we played, and I still feel a little bit robbed, mate. I don't know about you.
Yeah, obviously, I said last night when we done the reaction after the game. You know, when you're in the stadium, you don't see the replays, but when we come outside and you look at the replay of the handball again, and it gets worse every time. There's actually ex-pros that were saying that it wasn't a penalty, and that honestly, I'm still confused how the referee hasn't gone to look for it. Yeah. But look, we have to move on. You know, we can sit here and moan about decisions and all that. We can go back to beginning of the season when we got robbed at Nottingham Forest on our Chelsea away when we got robbed. So there's loads of decisions. But look, as someone pointed out today, Souček when we played Arsenal,
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Sometimes it goes, sometimes it don't. But look, it was a definite penalty. We should have had a penalty.
100%. We were robbed. That's it. But, the performance was still good. We're still sort of... The result, it didn't go away, but the performance was still there. I think, I said last night we showed them probably a bit too much respect, but the performances of late, going into this one, we've got to be confident. It's just sort of a mishap.
Yeah, definitely, mate. I mean, I thought we played really well last night. I know Liverpool had a lot of the ball, and you've got to expect that. Liverpool are a good team. You only got to look at the quality they brought off the bench during the game. But for us to go 1-0 up, we described the goal last night. It was brilliant little link-up play between Antonio and Paqueta. And what a finish, It looked even better when I watched it on the replay. It's a great finish and little moments in the game where we let ourselves down, but we give them battle. I'm telling you now, if that game would have been 5 or 6 weeks ago, we probably would have lost that 4 or 5-0 without a doubt.
Yeah.
But there's fight in this team now. Since the Arsenal game when we had that little bit of a fight back, we got the draw. Ever since then, we've been picking up good points. A win at Bournemouth, was a great win, 4-0 away from home. So we're starting to find that little bit of rhythm now. And hopefully, as you said, mate, one more win for either club on Saturday could see them safe. And if we beat Palace on Saturday, we'll leapfrog them, So it's there's a lot to play for on Saturday. Both teams have got to go for these 3 points, and it could be one entertaining game of football for the neutrals.
Yeah, let's hope so. For me going into this one, I think it's more of a must-win for us than it is Palace. I feel that because of the run of games we've got coming up, with City after this one, then Manchester United, and then we go into the Cup semi-final. I think if we can get this win over the line Saturday, it takes a lot of the pressure off to try and get anything at City or get anything at United. We sort of want to be at full tempo going into that semi-final, but we'd rather not have to keep looking over our shoulder. And I feel if we can get the win Saturday, we won't have to do that.
No, definitely not, mate. If we get the 3 points at Palace on Saturday and results go away over the weekend, you're right. It does take a little bit of pressure off us going to City because, look, you see what City done to Arsenal last night. If you get anything there, it's a bonus. Personally, I don't think we will. I think City are in that rhythm now. But you can take a defeat at City if you're picking up the points against Palace. Obviously, I don't want to see us lose any game, but you go into the Manchester United game next weekend at home, and they're a team that they're another team. They're a bit mixed, Man United. So
Mm.
it could be, a very mixed week of results for us. But if we can get the 3 points starting on Saturday, be a massive boost. But look, I'm not taking Palace for granted. I think
Yeah.
like their season hasn't gone the way they wanted to. They had to obviously get rid of Patrick Vieira, which upset a lot of fans. They
Mhm.
brought back Roy Hodgson, who there was a lot of people questioning it, but look, he's come in and he's got the results, and that's what these sort of old school managers can do. They change a few things, they put their arm around players that maybe weren't playing, and they get the
Mhm.
results. I watched them the other week against Leeds at Ellen Road, and they absolutely smashed them. It was 5-1
Yeah.
in the end. They were
Yeah.
brilliant on the day. So and Palace have got players that can change games and destroy you on their day.
Yeah, I totally agree, mate. They've got a lot of quality in their side. When you look at the players that they've got missing, one they've got Klein's missing for this game, Ferguson's missing, Zaha's now back in training. Anderson could possibly return, but even looking beyond the likes of Zaha, they've got Elise, they've got Eze, Eduardo. They've got some top quality players there. Like you said, on their day, if it clicks for them, and I think a lot of that under Vieira wasn't really clicking. And it
Yeah.
just seems the change of manager and Hodgson knows the club, knows the staff, knows the fans, and sort of installed that bit more of a still. I know look, they lost to Wolves last time out, but I think that was one of them results that could have gone either way in the end. They, by all accounts, from what I've heard, Palace played quite well and were unlucky realistically.
Yeah, Wolves are another team though that have found a bit of form, and it's
Mm,
not many teams when you're down the bottom go to Wolves and pick up results. So it was a difficult game, but I watched the highlights and you're right, Palace wasn't outplayed. I think they had
mm,
more possession, more shots, so it was just one of them nights for them. But yeah, since Hodgson's come back into the club, he's changed it for them, and they've pulled their. Honestly, 4 or 5 weeks ago, I was
yeah,
tipping them maybe they could go down, but
yeah, yeah,
it
yeah,
just
yeah.
shows you get a few results. Palace, West, like us, you start pulling away from that bottom three, and you put the pressure on the ones underneath you because they're panicking
Hmm.
that they need to get results. And you're right. I mean, you look at players. They got even Jordan Ayew. He always turns into Messi
Yeah.
when he plays us. I remember that goal he scored against us. That goal he scored against us the other year when he took it
Mm,
past about 10 of our players and dinked it over the goalkeeper. But yeah, look, it's always a difficult ground to go to Selhurst Park, but we always seem to get a result there. It seems that they
yeah.
get a result at our ground, we get a result at their ground. You look at the game earlier in the season, 1-1,
Hmm.
Antonio gives it away. They
Yeah.
go up the other end, and it was Eze, wasn't it, that scored the winner.
Yeah. Squad.
And
Yeah.
yeah, so I remember last season when we played at Selhurst Park, we was comfortable until the last 10 minutes, and then they made it 3-2. And I think they missed a chance. I think it was Edward. I think
Yeah.
it was missed a
Yeah.
chance
Right.
right at the end. They could have made it 3-3. So we
That's it.
always have entertaining games at Selhurst Park, and I'm expecting another one on Saturday.
Yeah, hopefully. I hope you're right, mate. I really do. I just hope we're on the winning side of it. And that's the thing. They're going to look at they haven't scored in their last two. Um, we're that sort of team that turns up and gives people a bit of a gift. So let's hope we can get a clean sheet. A clean sheet will boost us as well. I think going into the next couple of fixtures. Looking at the players, I don't know about you, but last night I thought a few people looked a bit leggy.
Yeah, a
Looked a
bit
bit
of
tired.
bit of fatigue
Mm,
getting into some of the players, especially the senior players, the older players. To play 3 games in a week is a lot for some of these players. So Moyes will have to look at that and make some changes. Not many. He hasn't got to change
mm.
much in the team, but yeah, yeah, you're right. There is a little bit of fatigue and tiredness creeping into the players. I noticed it last night.
Hmm. Now, and with that in mind, mate, what 11 would you go for in this game?
Well, yeah, as I was saying, mate, like you know, the team itself sort of picks itself at the moment because we're in a good
Yeah.
run of form. Take away the Liverpool result, we're in a good run of form. But I do want to see changes. So I've gone for Fabianski in goal.
Hmm.
I've gone for Sufal at right back, Zuma and Aguerd at centre back. I've brought Emerson back in for Creswell
Yeah.
because when we talk about fatigue, I think someone like Creswell playing obviously Bournemouth, Liverpool, and Palace in a week might be a bit too much for him. So I've brought Emerson back in. In front of him, I've gone for Declan Rice and
Hmm.
Paqueta in midfield with Ben Rama in front of them. And then I've gone for Cornet out on the left, Bowen
Hmm.
out on the right, and Antonio up top. Just to mix it up a little bit.
Yeah.
I want to see maybe Ben Rama coming in the middle a bit more. Just give Souček a little bit of a rest. I don't think Palace are the tallest in midfield, so I'd like to see us get it on the floor, play a bit of football. I think we'll have Rice there as protection to break it up. You've got Paqueta at the moment who's pulling the strings.
Hmm.
But Cornet, I want to see Cornet get a chance, and I think this could be a good game for him to get a chance from the start. Bowen, I wouldn't drop Bowen at the moment. He's in good form. And I just
Yeah.
think this sort of game, Antonio likes a game against Palace. He usually likes setting most of their goals up, but um, no, but he likes playing at Selhurst Park, and I'd like to see him, continue because he got taken off after about what was it, 65 minutes against
Yeah.
Liverpool. So he'll be ready to go. But yeah, that's the team I'd like to see. That's the team I want Moyes to pick. And yeah,
Mm.
as I said, mate, I'm happy with that team. Bit different, bit of a mix up in formation with players playing out of position. But I think Ben
Yeah.
Rama can adapt to that, playing in front of that midfield too. I think that would be a good role for him.
No, definitely, mate. He's got the ability to do it. I've gone a bit like you. I've stuck with the same defence as you had. Bringing Emerson in for Creswell for a similar reason. I think Creswell's played well of late, but I
Mm.
think just the fatigue will kick in. He hasn't had a lot of games through the year, so for me, I'd bring Emerson back in. I'd also drop Souček, but what I'd do is I'd bring Fornals to play centre midfield at least for an hour, and then bring on Lanzini after an hour because Lanzini likes to go against Palace. He's another one. He seems to turn up against them. So I'd bring Rice, Paqueta, and Fornals as my midfield three. I'd put Cornet on the left, Bowen on the right, and stick with Antonio up top. I just feel while we're playing that lone striker, Danny Ings is a quality player, but we're not suited. Maybe having Cornet out wide may suit him a bit more, but we need him to play higher up the pitch. I just think Antonio at the moment, like you were saying, he's in a good vein of form. Physically he looks good. All right, he's only getting 60 odd minutes under his belt, but I feel that could be enough for him to cause some damage. So I'm going for that one. But it's just trying to keep the core of the side the same, but just put some fresh legs in. For me, Souček hasn't done anything wrong the past couple of games, but we just need a different idea, a different dynamic, and I think Fornals could probably give us that different dynamic in the centre of midfield.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. And when I was picking my team, I was thinking of Fornals, and I was thinking maybe putting him in the role where Ben Rama's playing, and maybe
Hmm.
dropping Ben Rama for the game. But yeah, I'll be happy with both teams, to be honest. I think with Souček, he will probably be suited more to the Man City and the Man United game.
Yeah,
And obviously, he's
yeah,
going to be crucial in Europe for us. So it's sometimes like, especially this time of the season, you think we've played a lot of games in April. So it's sometimes that's what a squad's for. You got to mix it, and there's some good players.
mm,
As I said, look, Danny Ings could start the game on Saturday, and as you said, maybe having players like Cornet on the pitch and Ben Rama behind him might suit him. But yeah,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
I'm happy with either one of them teams, mate. To be honest,
That's it, mate. We just need to. I think we just need to go. Could do what we did against Bournemouth. We saw enough last night to show that it, as we've said, Liverpool good side. They're in a good run of form themselves. We showed enough last night. I feel that we can compete, especially going into this one. Palace, they'll want to look to get back onto winning ways. And as I said at the start, I feel that a win for either of these side guarantees them Premier League status next season. So it's a big one. What are you going to go for your prediction on this one, Ryan?
yeah, just going off what you're saying, mate. I mean, if Palace win, that'll put them on 40 points,
Mm.
and that will definitely see them safe. And obviously, if we win, it puts us on 37, which puts us then 2 points behind Chelsea, who are in 11th. So it won't look too bad, will it? Like it did 4 or 5
No.
weeks ago. But yeah,
It's crazy how a couple of wins changes the whole
yeah,
dynamic.
that's it, mate. That's what the Premier League's about. That's what football's about, mate. You only need to get 2 or 3 wins together, and you can, get on a good run and push up the table. But prediction time. Do you know what? I'll be honest. I fancy it. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
0-0. No, only joking. No, I'm gonna go 2-0 West Ham. I'm gonna go 2-0. Palace are a good team, but I don't know. I just fancy us on Saturday. I'm going to go 2-0.
Mm.
2-0 West Ham.
I don't think we're going to keep the clean sheet. I fancy a bit of a thriller. I'm going 3-2 West Ham.
Well, this is why the preview's good and we mix it up, because I'm keeping clean sheets and you ain't. No, but
There you go, mate.
Mate, I'll be honest, this stage of the season, I'll take a scrappy 1-0 last minute own goal. James Tompkins' own goal if he comes on or if he starts. Own goal. No, I would. I'll take anything, any win at the moment, mate. But the way we're playing, even the way we played, knocked the ball against Liverpool the other night, and the way we played against Bournemouth as well, we're starting to knock it about more, and we're getting confident, and we're looking like we was at points last season, So I'm expecting a good game. Entertainment wise, I'll take your result. Just want to get it safe and over the line, I'll take my 2-0 and Fabianski keeps it clean sheet.
That's it, mate. That's it. But right, thank you very much for joining me again, mate. Me and Dan are going to this one. Obviously, Nicky's and yourself are not available, so me and Dan are going. So make sure you come and find us after the game. Get yourselves on a fan cam. We'll be back with Friday Night Pint, but I will be back with another preview leading up to the City game on Wednesday. The games are coming thick and fast. Make sure you check out all the fan cams, all the reactions from the Liverpool game are still up there as well, so go and see them ones. And right, as per usual, mate, one thing left to say.
Come on, you. Come on.